I did not like Charlie Kirk. I did not agree with Charlie Kirk. But clearly, at least by Charlie Kirk's own assessment, I was not a violent threat to Charlie Kirk in the way that Nick was. There is a reason why Charlie Kirk refused to debate Nick Fuentes. There's a reason why Charlie Kirk refused to mention Nick Fuentes. There's a reason why he didn't have an issue debating me, on the other hand, both in the beginning of our careers, but also we were slated to debate next week. One must ask the question, why? The notion that Groypers didn't have beef with Charlie Kirk is just entirely ahistorical. The Groyper War was a campaign launched exclusively to harass him.
This guy is
Coward, yeah, get out of here. Chanted right out. Decisive victory. We snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. They thought they had us. That's the best you have? A hidden television? A clip from November 2015? You think you can beat me? You can't beat the Groypers. We're not going anywhere, Charlie. So good, so good. What a keynote moment. Get out of here, coward. Coward. Coward! This doesn't end. We'll see you on December 19th in Florida, bitch. Get the fuck on the campus! Grass! Grass! Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. What a perfect end. What a perfect end. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. What a victory. What a tremendous victory. This was the high note we needed to go out on. Perfect. Couldn't have gone better if we scripted it. 4 weeks. 4 weeks of uninterrupted victory. Humiliation after humiliation. Charlie Kirk defeated. Last night, the big opportunity. We blow it. Come back in the afternoon. He tried to run for hours. The rain, the tech issues. And yet we prevailed. Chased him out. I'm so proud of every one of you. I love every one of you. I love the people that make up this movement. You guys are great, high energy, funny, smart. Look at these questions. Nobody else can do anything like this. It's a team. We're a team. It's not about me. It's a team. It's about America first. It's about the memes. It's about being funny, right? So good job to everybody. Thanks for everything. Congratulations. We killed it. We won this Groyper War, and we only have the cherry to put on top in the next month. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for the lemons.
You thought leftist infighting was bad? Wait for fascist infighting? No, I'm completely aware of this. Okay? Part of the reason why I never touched it is because let him fucking fight. In many circumstances, if I involve myself in these affairs, I become the primary target because they stop fighting amongst themselves and then they come after me instead. Now that a fight is over for Nick, because he's like cynically trying to take advantage of the situation to place himself on the throne after years and years and years of pursuing Charlie Kirk, okay? And also Ben Shapiro as well. Here's another one. Nick Fuentes, a Nazi Frankenstein monster created by the conservative alt-right, is now turning on his masters and vowing to destroy the GOP while harassing Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro, as Malcolm X would say, the chickens are coming home to roost. Right? That's from December 14th, 2020.
It's great to see you. Why did you give a 45-minute speech about me at Stanford, and you won't even look at my direction?
Hey, he's with his kids.
Come on, I'm right here. Hey, let him cross, man. Let him cross. I know you're with your family, but I can't get to anywhere else. So 45 minutes. Wow. Well, that's our free speech warrior, everybody. Champion of the battle of ideas. Hey, come on. It's his family, man. It's his family. It's his family.
Hey, no. You guys need to watch the talk. Watch it.
Aren't you supposed to rise above instead of going down in the mud
Because
with someone?
he gave a 45-minute speech about
You're
me.
only repeating that because you're trying to make yourself sound important and you're not.
They've been smearing him for years.
This is the only time we can get him is when he's crossing the street and he uses I guess he's just like the Palestinians using human shields, right? That's what I'm trying to say.
But wait, there's more. Yeah. Since 2020, he's never stopped. This has been his agenda forever. Here is Squirrel also pointing this out. For those unclear about the difference between Nick Fuentes and Ben Shapiro, hates Muslims, hates LGBTQ, hates immigrants, hates women's far-right nationalism. Ben Shapiro is Jewish and also pro-Israel. The alt-right, and Nick Fuentes specifically, hates Jews and also hates Israel. There are some in the alt-right that hate Jews but love Israel as well, for the record. Okay? The far right contains multitudes. There are also plenty of people who are pro-Israel but also deeply anti-Semitic. I would say broadly the evangelical Christian movement is broadly anti-Semitic but also very, very pro-Israel. They think that Israel has to be given to the chosen sons and daughters of God so that the rapture can happen. They have their own theological justifications for it. Okay? And of course, Ben Shapiro, as I've routinely presented, is fine with anti-Semitic people as long as they're pro-Israel. Ann Coulter tweets regarding Jews, awful, nonsensical. Ann Coulter is also super pro-Israel and always has been. So no, I won't lose sleep. The Jewish people have always been plagued with bad Jews who undermine it from within America. Those bad Jews largely vote Democrat. Here's another rally. By the way, that first clip was from a while back, but Nick Fuentes and his Nazi gang continue to target Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk, most recently at the MAGA rally in D.C.
We want Nick! We want Nick! We want Nick! We want Nick! Let's go!
The funniest part about this, of course, is that the Republicans don't give a shit about any of this. They're not going to care. They're not going to, because they don't actually give a shit about Charlie Kirk either. They care about how they can use Charlie Kirk's assassination to their advantage to undermine political organizing in this country, political dissidents, maybe even prosecute and arrest them. Okay? That's it. So no, I don't think they give a shit about Nick Fuentes actively pursuing Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro and numerous other figures. The thing that they do care about Nick Fuentes, however, and I think that that is something that they won't be able to overlook, is his consistent anti-Israel advocacy, his consistent anti-Semitism. If he was pro-Israel, it wouldn't matter. But the fact that he's anti-Semitic and anti-Israel makes him a threat for the Republicans. So I still don't believe that the Trump administration will, if he remains anti-Israel openly, I don't think that the Trump administration will welcome him with open arms. But it kind of doesn't matter because he has been able to swing a lot of the audiences, even fucking liberals, even critics of Trump, into thinking that he is a tolerable figure.
Everybody's throwing him under the bus. Charlie Kirk? Yeah, boo. Ben Shapiro, the original Never Trumper? Yeah, we hate Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro does not believe in America first. Yeah, he started the Never Trump movement. Ben Shapiro is a subversive. We don't want subversives in our movement. The ADL and the SPLC have thrown Nick under the bus too. We hate the ADL. And a little like Nick. We want Nick. Million.
This was also the rally where Fuentes vowed to destroy the GOP. Except the reality of the matter is, this is why I'm presenting this. The reality of the matter is he's always flip-flopped with both supporting the GOP and then vowing to destroy the GOP. Okay? It's giving kick streamers at TwitchCon. I mean, kick streamers also very much firmly committed to Nick Fuentes anyway. So my point is, he's an opportunist. He has stayed consistent on one issue, that is hating Jews and hating Israel for sure. But he has gone back and forth on his support for Donald Trump, celebrating, taking credit for his victory. If you recall, one of his most viral moments that actually led to a lot of people like straight up coming to his house and shit was the "Your Body, My Choice." Are you trying to say the shooter was a Groyper? No, I'm not saying that. Although there are a lot of people who believe that. I am not a person that has entertained that. I don't know. My statement is, I don't know. Okay? It's too soon to tell. I don't think it's likely, but it doesn't matter. The reason why I'm talking about this is because Nick Fuentes kind of feels like the shooter might have been a Groyper. And I know that for a fact because he immediately started disavowing political violence, which he had totally been in favor of. He, started talking about how, he has thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk after spending his entire limited career trajectory shitting on Charlie Kirk, presenting himself as an honest broker, a real right-wing actor, saying Charlie Kirk was a leftist, that he was pro-Israel, he was pro-Jew, Charlie Kirk was Jewish. All this shit. So while I might not believe that the shooter was potentially a Groyper, it kind of felt like he believed that.
MAGA March, we promised that if the GOP would not do everything in their power to keep Trump in office, then we would destroy the GOP. Yeah. And as we gather here in Washington, D.C. for a second million MAGA March, we're done making promises. It has to happen now. We are going to destroy the GOP. Yeah. Let's go! Let's go! Destroy the GOP! 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 The GOP wants us to hold the line and vote for rhinos like David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler in the Georgia Senate.
And there are a million other instances of this, which is, I think, part of the reason why he was talking about how he didn't consider my initial assessment sufficient, claiming that I wasn't sufficiently grieving. But here it is.
It's my message to Hassan Piker and every liberal cocksucker like him. You better disavow this violence. You better cry like Dean Withers. And I don't say that. Maybe that comes off like I'm humiliating him. Who knows whether that was sincere or not? I hope to God that it was. And if it was, you know what?
Okay, I take offense to him calling me a liberal. I think that's a bit fucked up. You better cry. Look at this little booger-eating fucking manlet. This little man talking big game, talking big shit. You better cry. Well, I'm not. The fuck are you gonna do about it, bitch? The fuck is this shit?
Good on him. That's a good kid. And he said some nasty things about me. That's a kid with a conscience. He said, I don't think we should kill people for disagreeing. Is that divisive now? He had to apologize for weeping that someone he knew was murdered. That kid has a conscience. I have some faith in that generation. Here's my message to Hassan and all these smug, glib liberals like that. If you cannot, if you will not disavow this violence, we will have no choice but to consider you as no different than the killers. That's complicity.
No generation will claim Nick. There's plenty of evidence of Nick supporting political violence. Yes, he's a fucking neo-Nazi, of course. Once again, I'm more so frustrated with the fact that he's falsely presenting me as a liberal. I don't think that's appropriate. But older folks gonna eat that shit up? Yeah, he's just trying to farm the new wave of people who don't know his background at all. But it is funny because he is acting like he's gonna fucking call the principal on me. Like he's like, oh, you better cry real tears, or else I'm going to tell daddy, I'm going to tell Trump to come after you and arrest you.
You could be forgiven up until this point for being irresponsible. We all get heated. We all do it. I'm guilty of it too. It makes hypocrites of all of us. We murder each other with our words all the time, with our gossip, our slander. We overreact. We say things we don't mean. We get angry. We harbor grudges and resentment, things that we should not. And that's not to excuse it. But the day that someone gets shot for the disagreement, if you can't bring yourself to show the slightest ounce of humanity to a moderate Republican who got killed for no reason, this is a moment we all recognize could set us down the path towards a civil war, could set us down the path towards unbelievable horror, suffering, bloodshed. If you can't bring yourself, even for the selfish sake of yourself or your own people or your own pathetic side, to show the slightest ounce of humility, of mercy, of magnanimity, benevolence, charity, then you are no better than the killer.
The funniest part about it is that you did disavow Kirk's assassination. You just don't feel really sympathetic about the situation, but obviously it was horrible. So I don't know. You didn't cry enough, I guess. No, I did. I did disavow it. And not only did I disavow it, but I also was traumatized by it for obvious reasons. But I don't think that Charlie Kirk is a moderate figure, nor one that was good for the overall collective consciousness or for political discourse in this country. Having said that, however, of course, Nick has to present it in this way because he is trying to shift the attention away from his fans that might have been responsible for doing this. Because here's the thing. I did not like Charlie Kirk. I did not agree with Charlie Kirk. But clearly, at least by Charlie Kirk's own assessment, I was not a violent threat to Charlie Kirk in the way that Nick was. There is a reason why Charlie Kirk refused to debate Nick Fuentes. There's a reason why Charlie Kirk refused to mention Nick Fuentes. There's a reason why he didn't have an issue debating me, on the other hand, both in the beginning of our careers, but also we were slated to debate next week. One must ask the question, why? Perhaps the many years of Nick Fuentes presenting himself as antagonistic towards Charlie Kirk and stalking him with his Groypers is the reason why Charlie did not want to actually debate Nick Fuentes. Or maybe he didn't want to debate Nick Fuentes because he was worried that Nick Fuentes would eat away at his market share. It could be a million different reasons. But I see this as a transparent effort to, one, rehabilitate his image, to present himself as a more moderate figure, with the hopes that he will get hugged and kissed by establishment figures in the Republican Party who either don't know any better or are not fearful of his agenda. And last but not least, a desperate attempt to shift the attention away from people asking, what is a Groyper? Actually, what does that even mean? Why did they hate Charlie Kirk? Why did they actually pursue Charlie Kirk physically in the real world? That's the reason why he's doing this. It's the same exact reason why I did not intervene in these affairs when I saw people attacking, when I saw his fans attacking Charlie Kirk and vice versa. Because I knew that if I were to present myself in the middle of that conversation, they would shift their attention away to a figure that they considered a larger enemy. You understand? If this man was an actual white nationalist neo-Nazi that believed in his convictions, he would be shifting his rhetoric out of fear of persecution. He's cosplaying. He has no real ideology. He's simply invested in the attention he gets in creating chaos and division for his own enjoyment. No, I think he's a real neo-Nazi. I think. I do. I believe he's a real neo-Nazi. Anyway, here is
Agreement.
Chuck Modi showing a Nick Fuentes talking about Charlie Kirk prior to the shooting versus after the shooting versus prior to the shooting. Let's take a look.
We had our disagreements. Where we did agree is that he would go to these college campuses and proclaim the name of Jesus Christ. And ultimately, that is why he was killed. The gunmen that killed him, they hated him because of his defense of Christian morality.
I'll go to Trump Live
Charlie
in a second.
Kirk cannot call himself a Christian anymore. Sorry, you forfeited that. I do not want to hear, and you cannot allow Charlie Kirk to go to one more public event, one more question and answer, one more ask me anything, without being protested, without being shouted down, without being interrogated about this. This guy goes around from campus to campus in the most artificial and phony and fake way, talking about, oh, God made me very blessed that I control $500 million. Oh, I'm so blessed. I'm so rich and I'm so blessed. And oh, God's been so good to me. I'm such a Christian. Oh, the Lord gave me the Sabbath. I take Saturday off. You sit there and call yourself a Christian and then you make excuses for the genocide of 2 million people? Seriously? You stand there and purport to be an evangelist like Billy Graham? Oh, you're the latest Billy Graham? You're our generation's America's pastor? Why? Because you said the right words? Because you said, God bless, God bless, God bless, my friend. Oh, I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus. and then you go around from campus to campus making excuses for a famine?
Yeah.